The Orion capsule on Artemis I is going to be leaving Earth. It's going to go to the moon and circle, use the gravitational pull of the moon and circle out into space. At that point in space would be the deepest, farthest that any human-rated vehicle has ever been in space. And then it's going to come back and splash down on Earth. And then Artemis II is going to have 2 astronauts on the Orion capsule. And at that point, when it goes around the moon, it'll be the deepest in space that any humans have ever been in history. And so that's going to create history. And then, of course, Artemis III is going to have astronauts that are going to actually put their boots on the moon's surface again. Ones behind me, they are going to be part of the Artemis I core stage booster engines, and we assemble those engines at this facility. We take them out to the test stand with NASA, we test them, we flight certify them, and then they come back from the test stand back to this facility. We do final checkouts, and then we'll take them and ship them over to our customer at Mizzou and right outside of New Orleans. There's liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. It's both cryogenics. When they come into the main combustion chamber, they immediately go to plus 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and they come out at Mach 13, 13 times the speed of sound as the exhaust. That would take you from New York City to LA in less than 15 minutes. 25 engines, the controller, which is essentially the brains of the engine, and then the nozzle design. In my mind, it's declassified, but then we had to test them as an integrated package, all 4 of them at one time, and that's to ensure that the systems understand how they interact with each other and how the acoustics and how the heat transfer from the engines are affecting the whole system. And so we do an integrated test, and that's called the Green Run Core Stage Test that occurred here at Stennis Space Center. So controlled from the standpoint of the material properties to how we design it and build it, and building it exactly like the way we designed it, and then we test it, and as you heard, we fly like we test and test like we fly, and that's the NASA way of doing business, because we're putting astronauts on these engines. We want it to work right every time, and we want them to be able to do their job in the space, get into space safely, and we want them to bring them home to their families.
It's awesome to see that being tested. You know, it's a very robust engine, but then seeing how they're maturing it even more with getting rid of traditional manufacturing techniques and going and looking at that, you know, coming up with new electronics for it. It's just awesome to see the whole landscape. You know, we're very fortunate here. You know, we've got gas turbine engines over there with Rolls-Royce. We've got high pressure stuff. We've got commercial. We've got government. we've got all kinds of stuff going on, and you know, this is kind of an epicenter of doing that, which is awesome to see. This ring here is the opening that the 4 RS-25s flowed through. We call it a vibroacoustic suppression ring. Different valves to control the different flows. We have flow measurement devices.
This really was a staging center for the whole community, surrounding community. Through them all.
To come home because pay is less in local media, and I was like, oh, I'll just do it. And there's no network jobs here. You might have like one network person in